This is music, and these are first impressions from down under, not down there. Welcome to another first impressions video. In these videos, I normally share with you my first impressions of the many blind buys I've picked up lately. However, this is another follow-up on a VCLT. This time a VCLT I was sent by none other than the man, the myth, the legend, the shiny golden god that is Nathan from Metal Down Under. Go and check out his channel here on YouTube. He shows a lot of awesome stuff from within and sometimes beyond the world of metal. And he's a big supporter of women in metal and rock. So why don't you go to his channel and check it out and support his channel? So he sent me an awesome VCLT with lots of cool items in it, cassette tapes, CDs, vinyl. So I'm going to have to shoot this video in smaller parts because I have a lot of stuff on my plate right now and I haven't had the time to listen to music every day. But why not start with the cassette tapes? Up first, Noise Works, self-titled, and I would say that this is straight up 80s pop rock, melodic rock, soft rock, you know, rock music from the 80s, and you can hear that immediately. And I really enjoyed this. It was good stuff. I even recognized some of the songs, No Lies and Welcome to the World. So it was nice to hear those songs again. And just tasty, tasty 80s soft rock, pop rock. I really liked this one. It was really cool. And up next, this one here, Stranded by Tangier. And this is, I would say it's melodic hard rock. Uh, it's in this type of shell. Melodic hard rock with, look at the picture and you know what it's like. Melodic hard rock with some AOR elements, some southern rock elements, some blues rock elements, some country rock elements, and all of that is wrapped in just tasty melodic hard rock. I enjoyed this one for sure. It's a little bit softer than some of the other kind of, you know, hard rock glam metal from back in the day, but it's still enjoyable. I liked it. I will definitely give. Actually listened to this one twice even, um, and I'll give it more spins, spools, listens, whatever. It's a cassette tape, so I like that one. This is what's good stuff too. So there. Interruption. He also sent me a copy of Vane. I can't remember which of these two copies it is, but one of them was sent to me by Nathan. I have already made a video discussing this, but this is great, kind of glam metal, but kind of different glam metal. To me, it does have that kind of sleazy and glammy feel of glam metal for sure, but there's also kind of a almost like a punky feel to some of it in the attitude at the very least. And it's also some of the stuff is a little bit more laid back than your typical glam metal album. So this is really good stuff if you like your glam and sleaze metal, but you want something a little bit different. So check this out too. So there you go. Those were the cassette tapes. Let's turn to the CDs. By the way, if I sound a little bit different in this segment, it's because I had to undergo emergency jaw surgery. So I got stitches all the way up here on the inside of the mouth, and that has affected the way I speak a little bit. Anyways, let's get down to the CD. So up first, we have this one here, Beneath the Silence. Black Lights. This one is still in the Digipack because I was under the impression that it would be um, metalcore, and I'm not the biggest fan of metalcore, so maybe I was going to move this one on. It's a Danish band, by the way. They have a lady singing, And I was very positively surprised to learn when I listened to this that it's not really metalcore. To my ears, it's more like kind of gothic metal, more like a modern, updated version of Evanescence. So I actually quite enjoyed it. It was good. I'm gonna keep this one. So there you go. Up next, we have this one here, Blue Ruin, Hooligans Happy Hour. Uh, they're all ladies. It's a punk band. They have lots of attitude, but also there's a lot of melody to their songs. Some of it is like straight up punk rock, and some of it is almost like pop punk. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. Good stuff, good melodies, good attitude, good fun listen. So, if you are a punk fan, you might enjoy this, but if you're kind of like an old head punk fan, maybe you won't enjoy it because the production is not rough around the edges. It is a little bit polished, but I don't mind that. So I enjoyed it. That was good. Up next we have this one here, "Burn It Up" by Bullet Belt. I was sent another Bullet Belt release on vinyl by Nathan, which was kind of like blackened thrash metal. This is still thrash metal, but it's not super blackened. Some of it is. There's one song that's quite blackened, but it's very different from the other Bullet Belt one I have. First off, there's a dude singing on this one. There are lots of influences from what sounds like kind of like 90s alternative rock and 90s thrash to me. It's quite interesting in that sense, but it's not like the previous one. But I think this is still very good, and it's interesting to hear something that is just different. So I liked this one, and there are some genuinely good songs on here. So it is definitely worth checking out. But it's not as the other one was you had some straight up black metal songs and then some thrash and speed metal songs. That one is much, much more melodic. Up next, we have this one here, Curly's Jewels. This is, I would say this is kind of like retro hard rock, 90s style. Remember the 90s? That's a while ago now, so we can call that retro. And it's very good too. They have a lady singing, good groovy riffs. Takes me back to the 90s, and I did like a lot of the alternative metal and alternative rock from the 90s. This is more on the rock side of things, but really, really good stuff. Good riffs, excellent vocalist. She has a great voice, so that's awesome. Up next, we have this one here, a live Eluviti. Eluviti. I still don't know how to pronounce this band. It's a name. So it's a live release. It has 16 songs on it. They are kind of like a folk metal band meets melodic death metal. And I'm normally not a big fan of folk metal, but what's interesting here is that I actually enjoy the folk parts much more than the metal parts. They have two singers. They're going for the Beauty and the Beast kind of thing. So they have a woman who sings with clean vocals and a dude who sings with harsh vocals. While I'm a big fan of the lady's vocals, she's got a fantastic voice. The harsh vocals, I actually don't like him that much, if I'm being completely honest. And the melodeath parts, some of them, some of those parts sound a little bit watered down to me. But I really enjoy the folk parts. It sounds like the folk parts are more like Irish folk music inspired. So for some reason, this reminds me a lot of the chorus, just like a heavier version of the chorus. So, apart from the harsh vocals, some of the melodic death stuff, I actually quite enjoyed this one. But a lot of it comes down to the lady who sings. She has a great voice. So this was very interesting. Cool. Up next, we have this one here, The Scythe by Elven King. This is also kind of folk metal, but the folky parts to me are a little bit more in the background. And musically, it's more like modern power metal. The vocals are interesting. There are lots of good songs on here, actually. I really like Lost Hill of Memories. That's a great one. Romance and Wrath is a great song too. And Death and the Suffering and Dumb in Hate. So there's some good songs on here for sure. There are also some like some of those power metal elements that I don't really like, but whatever. The vocals, I still haven't decided on the vocals. They are not your typical wimpy power metal vocals, so that definitely is a plus. But they kind of remind me a little bit of kind of 2000s teen angst kind of music, and that is a little bit off-putting. So I don't know. There's it's a great vocalist. He has a he's a great singer. I just don't know if I like it or not, if you know what I mean. The singing. But this is a very good, very another positive surprise to me. So that was cool. Awesome. Up next, we have this one here, Imperial Slave, and it's signed and everything, which is awesome. It's called Still at Large. This is awesome. I would say kind of somewhere in between modern thrash and modern death metal, maybe kind of melodeath in a way. Um, but it's quite brutal. You got blast beats and all sorts of really cool guitar solos, great songs. This is an awesome album if you like kind of like modern extreme metal. It's definitely worth checking out. So awesome stuff. Up next, we have this one here. What is it called? Biomechanicals by Metalite. So I would say this is also kind of power metal, maybe somewhere in between modern traditional heavy metal, if you know what I mean, and power metal. They have a lady singing. She has a great voice too. Uh, it's really interesting. Maybe it's a little bit progressive too. So I think the songs, for the most part, are very interesting. Great singer, very catchy choruses, fantastic musicianship, great guitar solos. One thing that's a little bit off-putting to me is that there are a lot of keyboards, and they're going for obviously they're going for kind of an electronic element to kind of fit the theme of the release, but a lot of the sort of synths and keyboards and whatever, they sound a little bit too discotheque pop-ish to me. Uh, so that is a little bit off-putting when they go, from my perspective, overboard with it. Of course, if you like it, they don't go overboard. But apart from that element, that's a little bit off-putting. The rest of it is it's really excellent, uh, and especially the chorus is super catchy. So this was another very good release. We got more stuff for you. We got this one here, Behind the Mask. Yeah, by New Zero. So it's upon a New Zealand and Terror. And this one is signed, and it's even signed to me. So that is awesome. So this is, I would say it's industrial metal. So the songs are kind of simple with, the simple, repetitive, kind of strangely groovy riffs that you hear in a lot of industrial music. It's not as noisy and harsh and unpleasant as a lot of industrial music is. So groovy, catchy. There's a little bit of a gothic feel to it as well, and you can see they're kind of going for that image-wise too. So some really good songs. They're very well put together. Uh, their singer is the highlight for me. She has a great voice, kind of a dark voice too. Awesome. She is what puts everything together and makes it awesome. So this is a great release. It's accessible. So if you're looking to get into some kind of more industrial-ish music, this might be a good kind of a gateway release. And if you just like kind of dark gothic sounding music, you might want to check this one out too. I enjoyed it, and I'm not a fan of industrial music generally. So there you go. And now we have this one here, Sophie Lloyd's Delusions. signed as well. So she is kind of a guitar heroine. So this is instrumental guitar rock. She can shred, but she's not only all about shredding. There are lots of cool guitar melodies, lots of riffs that are awesome as well, lots of hooks. So it's memorable. It's not just shredding across the board. So this is a nice EP. I really enjoyed listening to this one. So like if you're into Just Keach, if you're into Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, all that good stuff, you might want to check this one out because it's really good. And here's just a suggestion for Sophie Lloyd and Saki, formerly of Nemophila. I suggest that you get together and you do a collaborative album because I think your styles would work very well. I don't think they're watching this video, but there you go. So if you know them, let them know. Anyways, and up last, CD wise, I still have some vinyl. There's this one here. It's called is Hear It Rocket Volume what 127, and yeah, it's in my Nakaoka sleeves to protect it and all that good stuff. So this is a compilation. You got 7 songs, different styles of metal, some power metal, some hard rock, some traditional heavy metal. So it's just a good listen. You got Feuerschwanz on here. That's a pretty good power metal song. There's Virgin Steel. That's always fun. There is, and this is probably my favorite, Power Wolf. Wolves of War. That's a great one. There's also Megahertz. It's called Alles Arschlöcher. So they don't like people. So yeah, this is a good listen, good fun listen. So I enjoyed that one. So I'm gonna come back. For me, it's probably gonna be a couple of weeks, but for you, it's gonna be like this. Let's turn to the vinyl. It's still July. It's been a week since I shot the previous section of this video, but of course, it's been like a second or two to you. I'm still recovering, but recovery is going well. So let's have a look at the vinyl. So up first, this one here, Devil's Skin, Be Like the River. I actually already know this one because Nathan sent me a copy on CD a while ago, but he also sent me this vinyl copy. And I still gave it a listen because I really like this album. It's a mix of hard rock and heavy metal, and it's kind of a mix of kind of modern hard rock and metal, and then I would say 90s hard rock with a little bit of that alternative rock as well, but not too much. So the songs are groovy, great riffs all over the place, and fantastic vocals. The vocalist is awesome. She has a very dark and powerful voice. She does clean singing for the most part, but when the songs call for it, she actually does some harsh vocals too. Mostly stuff that you would otherwise know from extreme metal, and it works very well. So this is still a fantastic hard rocking album. Just great guitar work, great drumming. Everything is great about this. Awesome stuff. Do check them out if you like just hard rock or heavy metal. And the last item that I'm gonna talk about is this one here, Leather Bitch. It's um it's an EP, got 5 tracks on it. Musically, it's actually very good. It's kind of like it's traditional heavy metal, with I would say almost bordering on speed metal in places. Some of the songs are quite fast. You got the vocals are they're kind of raw, clean singing, but kind of raw, kind of shouty. But there are lots of just heavy metal screams all over the place too, which we all know and love. I don't know if we all know and love him, but I certainly do. So musically, this is awesome. The lyrics are a little bit silly, or kind of they range from being a little bit silly to being very silly, but it's also it's kind of part and parcel of this whole thing. You know, there's a song called "Nasty Reputation," so that's the kind of um the order of the day here. But it's good fun, and musically, I actually think it's awesome. Like I said, traditional heavy metal bordering on speed metal, lots of just like that underground 80s feel all over the place. So a handful of really good, aggressive, old school heavy metal songs. So there you go. So again, thanks to Nathan from Metal Down Under for sending me these awesome things. Do check them out on your own. I'm sure you will like most of it, if not all of it. And do check out Nathan's channel, Metal Down Under, if you like heavy metal, hard rock, melodic hard rock, thrash metal, power metal, all that good stuff. And if you like, in particular, rock and metal fronted by female vocalists, it's a great channel. It's a great guy. Thanks for watching.